Hi friends, I'm Kitty and welcome to Little Wattle Nursery. I'm an adult doll collector that creates content that aims to encourage fun and positivity in our hobby. You are never too old for dolls and never too old for a hobby you love, so stick around and have some dolly fun. Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Today's video is going to be a little bit different to usual because it's going to be a tribute video to Dutch sculptor and artist Adrie Stuter, who passed away recently. Whilst I'm chatting to you about some of the wonderful contributions that Adrie made in the reborn doll industry, I'm also going to do an outfit change on this beautiful reborn doll. Now, this is my beautiful Briella Lucette. She is a reborn art doll and she joined my collection earlier this year. Briella is the Saskia kit, sculpted by Adrie Stuter and reborn by master artist Shaylin Maxwell of Reborn Suite. Now, I honestly didn't think the opportunity to own a prototype doll in my collection would ever be a possibility. So I actually feel very honoured and privileged to have this doll in my collection. Before I get on with showing you the details of the outfit that I'm going to change it into, I just want to acknowledge a few hashtags in the doll community that I want to promote on this channel. So starting with Sunday, there's Iris Johnson from Blessed Love Baby Nursery, and she has the hashtag Sunday Dress Your Best. And then there's Whatever I Want Monday, which is hosted by the Baby Patch. There is Thankful Friday, hosted by Tater Tots channel or Tater Tots Nursery. Hashtag Flashback Friday, hosted by Dory's Dolls. And we've got Play Day Saturday, which is hosted by Patricia's Dolly Dreams channel. And the final hashtag is from J Dolls UK channel, and it's hashtag New Doll Clothes. I didn't mention that the last time in my previous video when I dressed Briella into her nursery outfit. This is what she wears when she's not starring on YouTube. So I'm going to put links down in the description box to all those hashtags, and I really encourage you, if you don't know about those theme days in the doll collecting community, and there are also hashtags as well, please head over to those channels and check it out. So for anyone new to doll collecting who may not know what a prototype reborn doll is, in the case of a reborn art doll, they're generally made by what's called a master artist. And in the case with this doll, the German reborn supply company called Papen Traumland commissioned master artist Shaylin Maxwell to reborn the Saskia kit, which they re-released in late 2022. Now, this kit was originally made back in 2006, and it's been very popular amongst collectors. In fact, Adrie Stuter, she is a very, very popular sculptor amongst collectors. Her work is absolutely beautiful. So this is the certificate that I received from Shaylin Maxwell. Because this doll is a prototype, she doesn't come with a COA. So this is Shaylin Maxwell's nursery certificate, and they're all her details. So after Master Artist Shaylin Maxwell reborned this doll, she provided photos to Pup and Traumland and other supply companies, and they used those photos to promote the sale of this particular kit online. And I'm going to include links in the description box if you're interested in checking that out. Now today I'm going to dress my beautiful Briella into a really cozy outfit. I'm just going to pull it out of the bag. You can see it's a knit. It's a gorgeous soft pink Spanish knit outfit. It's a 3-piece outfit. Look at that bonnet. Isn't that sweet? That is so cute. You're probably thinking to yourself, why is Kitty dressing this baby into something winter? It's because it's winter here in Australia. I know my friends in the Northern Hemisphere are currently in early summer. Well, we're in early winter. And it's gotten really cold here, so I want to dress her into something cozy. Isn't this top beautiful? The outfit, the 3-piece outfit, is from Juliana, which is a Spanish brand, one of my favourite baby clothing brands. So it has this lovely white frill on the collar. Can you see that really sweet little pink ribbon? And then it's got the little Juliana badge. And as I said, it's just this gorgeous knitted top with scalloping at the sleeves and down at the waist. It's buttoned up at the back. I love that. That just makes it so much easier to dress a doll. Believe me, I'm not very good at dressing dolls. And then these gorgeous knitted pants. And just, this is going to look so adorable. I'm really excited to dress her into it. So many of us in the doll community have recently heard the very sad news about Adri Stuter passing away recently. And for many of us, it's come as a really huge shock. Now, I want to start off by saying, because I think a lot of people don't realise this in the doll community, but a lot of us have actually been pronouncing Adri's name incorrectly. And my dear friend Annette from Anne May's lovely channel, I think it's pronounced Anna May's lovely channel, she very kindly reached out to me a couple of months ago when I did a box opening on this gorgeous little Saskia doll, because I was questioning how to pronounce Adri's name correctly. And Annette, who also is Dutch, very, very kindly reached out to me and clarified how to pronounce her name correctly, which is actually Adri Stuter, not what we usually hear, which is Adri Stoetti or Adri Stoti. So her name is actually pronounced Adri Stuter. And I think that's really important to get that right in this video, because we're paying our respects to her. Now, Adri, who is from the Netherlands, she was not only a talented sculptor, but she was also a really talented artist. And she started sculpting dolls all the way back in 1991 when a lady in her neighbourhood asked her to join her doll making class. She then made the transition to creating reborn doll kits, and her first commercial reborn doll kit, which in fact was this Saskia, was produced by Doll Dreams, which is now known as the Little Dreams collection, back in 2006. Now, during her career, Adri worked incredibly hard as a sculptor. Incredibly hard. She produced over 100 reborn kits. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. When you think about it, that is such an outstanding contribution to the reborn industry. Over 100 reborn kits. Wow, that just boggles my mind. And all of those kits are beautiful, absolutely stunning. And if you'd like to find out about Adri's catalogue of work, the details of all her kits can be viewed on her Facebook page. But you can see one of them right here. This is her first one, her first commercial one. And as I've said in previous videos, this doll is probably one of my favourites in the collection, if not my favourite. I just think the way that she sculpts, for me, it's the face. It's all about the face. I think Adri is incredibly talented and I absolutely adore this kit. I have a few others of hers that are my favourites. I absolutely love the Paris kit as well. And Adri's work is so popular amongst collectors that they, as I said, they re-released this kit nearly 2 decades later. Like, her work just stands the test of time. It really is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sculpting. I absolutely love the nose and the lips on this particular sculpt. Just incredible. Now, I actually found a really interesting interview with Adri located on the McPherson's website. I'm going to include a link to that interview down in the description box below if you're interested in checking it out. I think she was asked 19 or 20 questions about her sculpting and the reborn doll industry. It's a very, very interesting read. I do encourage you to go and check out that full interview. Now, to summarise what was in that interview, she expressed an excitement about the future of the reborn industry because she felt that there are still a lot of consumers around the world who still don't know what a reborn art doll is. And it sounded like she was really excited and eager to tap into that. That was her primary focus. And she also expressed some disappointment with those who use replicated kits. But I certainly got the impression that she wasn't directing her focus on that. She was directing her focus and energy towards collectors in the reborn hobby who sincerely love the true art form in any form. And she made a really valid point. She went on to make a very valid point that really resonated with me. And I think it will resonate with me for the rest of my collecting days, actually. And that was, she made a very valid point that there will continue to be a reborn industry, providing there are collectors who are collecting reborn art dolls because they are interested in the doll art. Let's just pause and think about that for a second, because I think Adri really has made such an incredibly good point. And I, for one, would certainly like to see this hobby redirect some of its focus back to the art. My perception, because I came into the reborn community collecting, I've known about the reborn community for a long time because I've been a vintage doll collector and a collector of other dolls for the best part of 40 years. So I was very well aware of reborn dolls when they started cropping up, 2 decades ago. But over the past 5 years, because I've been collecting for about 4 seriously with reborn dolls, what I've actually seen change in our hobby or or in this industry is that the marketing of these dolls has somewhat moved away from the focus on the art, and it's moved towards fulfilling personal emotional needs. And you're probably thinking, well, what do I mean by that? Well, broadly speaking, whilst there are many positive benefits to having reborn dolls helping those with dementia and depression or anxiety, there still needs to be enough collectors truly interested in collecting these dolls because they appreciate the art. Collecting for art purposes will help to support artists working in the industry and for them to be gainfully employed in the future. So I hope that point, that very valid point that Adri made, I hope it resonates with others like it has with me. And I really do hope in the future, in terms of our collecting, that we can move back towards the art, because I think she's just made such a valid point. Whilst people still appreciate the art, there is always going to be people wanting to collect these dolls. And the art is truly magnificent. Reborn art dolls, they are hyper realistic dolls. They are the pinnacle of dolls, really, when you think about it. When you look at the history of dolls and the whole point of doll making, even from a couple of hundred years ago, the aim was always to try and make them look as real as possible, as lifelike as possible. And here we are, and look how real these dolls look because of the artistry. I think it's absolutely incredible. And the reason why I think that point is so important is because I see a lot of divide happening in the community, in the reborn doll community. For those that are on the side of the sculptors, and I see them doing some really not so nice things. They bully people and tell people, sort of dictate to people what they should and shouldn't be doing with their money. And I don't think it's a successful way of really approaching things. And I think that's why Adri's point really resonated with me, is that let's go back to what these dolls are all about. Let's go back to appreciating the art of the doll and teaching others to appreciate the art of the doll, of these dolls. And I think if we can do that, and that's what she was saying about tapping into people who don't know about these dolls, the art of the dolls, what goes into making these dolls. Because a lot of people don't realise that. Most consumers don't. I think if we made that the primary focus rather than this bullying mentality, that could be a better way to go. I think that Adri was such a wise woman, and she was such an incredible role model to many around the world, and she has left some really thought-provoking ideas that I think are really well worthwhile thinking about and implementing and doing in the community. Now, Adri's passing is it's a massive loss to the reborn community and the reborn industry. But as my dear dolly friend Kim from Kim's Dollies channel, thank you so much, Kim, for reaching out to me after finding out about this news. I really, really appreciate your friendship. Kim eloquently said, Adri will never be forgotten because her love is in her art. And it's so true. And it personally gives me a great deal of comfort knowing that Adri's incredible talent and her memory will continue to shine through these beautiful pieces of art. For me personally, Adri has become one of my favourite sculptors during my 4 years of collecting reborn art dolls, together with Ellie Noops, who is also a Dutch sculptor. They kind of share the top spot. Ellie Noops shares the top spot with Adri. I love the Dutch sculptors. I think they're so incredibly talented. And, this baby doll is just one of my absolute favourites. As I said before, I consider her to be a forever doll. She will never leave my collection. So, on a final note, my thoughts and prayers go out to Adri's family during this difficult time. Thank you, Adri, for your dedication to the reborn doll art, your incredible work ethic, and being an excellent role model for sculptors around the world, and for your artistic talent, which has brought so much beauty and joy into this amazing doll collecting hobby. You're an inspiration to many and will continue to hold a very special place in our hearts. Bye, friends.